he goes into whether or not you can tell the difference between a child.
I'm contesting this ridiculous, outrageous statistic.
Should get pregnant from these cases, and you said you believe that people should be able to get abortions in cases of rape.
No, actually,
yes, you did.
I said,
yes,
let
you
me
did.
say. I said, I actually don't believe that. I said, let me, for the argument's sake, say that. But I actually don't believe that.
I thought you said that you don't?
No, of course not. Because let me tell you
what. You
what.
would make somebody carry their rapist
if
child.
If I have two ultrasounds, I have an ultrasound here of a baby conceived in rape, an ultrasound of a baby from a loving marriage. Which one is which?
Okay. So his argument is that you can't tell from two different beings. I will break this down scientifically, because he can't tell, but the mitochondria can. He can't tell, but the mitochondria knows full well who's coming into this dimension. I've told you guys several times when I talked about the mitochondria and who is the one that actually controls the sex of the child. I've talked about this several times. I'm going to go into it briefly here. It is the woman and the state of the woman that determines the sex of a child. Now, you showing me two ultrasounds, and this one over here, it's saying it's a girl, and this one over here is saying it's a boy. I can tell you which one came from the rape. Why? Because when you're talking about a male, you're talking about a being coming from a mother who was under duress. So I'm going to say this again, and I've shown this factually. And you know what? You don't believe a word I say. Just look around. Check your family. Check the people you know. And check the woman who has 3 sons. And then you already know. Check in your family with people who you know, especially with an abused woman in your family. A woman who is under duress, meaning she's getting beat up, she doesn't like her job, she's not eating right, she's unstable mentally, emotionally, physically. She's most likely to give birth to a male. If she's giving birth to a male, it is a clear sign of a woman who is under duress. Period and point blank. No, they didn't tell you that, but Diva Lyri is letting you know. And again, I'm letting you know you can check it for yourself. Look in your house. Look in your family, your aunties and uncles and your cousins and them. Just do your own research, and then we can understand, is this real or is this not? It is real. And so when he's talking about, well, can you tell the difference? This is why I say you should never force a woman to give birth to a being that she's told you she doesn't want. Because now you're telling me if she says she doesn't want it, it's likely she's going to be under duress. And if she's under duress, she's more likely to degrade. And I said it, and I meant it like I just said, and I'm not, and I want to make this clear. Because I know when I say these things, sometimes it's hard for brothers to take. But it's not against the brothers. I'm just telling you what the facts are. And this is why I have an issue with this man or anybody, any man, doesn't matter who it is, talking about a woman and trying to pass legislation about what she should do with her body, especially when I know they don't know science. If he knew science, he wouldn't be making a statement like this. When a woman has told you, well, I'm not happy, this is not something I care to give birth to, the last thing you want to do is force her to bring that being into this dimension, because you got to respect what's happening when she does. She's most likely in a degraded state. Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, she's off. And that means she's most likely to degrade that vessel from a girl to a boy. And this is not a diss, these are facts. Anybody who doesn't know, a Y chromosome is a derivative of the X. So what I just told you is the X comes first. All males were originally females. I'm going to say this again for the people in the back of the room. All males were originally female. So when it comes to a boy, a male, what has happened is he has had many of his genes removed from the X to degrade it to a Y. And this is what happens and why his scrotum had to drop out of his vessel to keep him from being infertile. This is an unnatural process. As a matter of fact, for those of you who don't know, the Y chromosome, this is what science says. Diva Lyri didn't say this. This is what science says. The Y chromosome is a genetically modified, unnatural, parasitic, recessive gene or chromosome. It is all of that. I'm not making this up. And the problem is that women have not been told who they are and who he is. We haven't been told that, oh, everything comes from the X. He was originally a girl. This should have been told to us. And so I'm just giving you what the facts are. So when he's sitting here saying, well, you look at an ultrasound, you might not know, but the mitochondria is fully aware. And Diva Lyri knows if that being comes out as a male, well, I know she was under duress, period. Remember to keep that bell on for notifications. Follow UNA Republic for more great information.